Hi guys, this is Fernando doing another video for Modern Survivalist, in this case showing you the Fenix EO5. The Fenix EO5 is one of the smallest flashlights Fenix has in their line of products. It uses a single AAA battery and it provides 27 lumens in its only mode, activated by a twisty mechanism, and it has a special lens that mostly it's dedicated for flood rather than throw. It is the keychain format. It is smaller even than the well-known Fenix EO1. This is the one my wife has, and her keychain very well worn, as you can see, but both of them compared one next to the other, you can appreciate how the EO1 dwarfs the EO5. Let's take a look at what we have here. The box, of course, the blister packaging, very thick, bit of of a struggle to get it out of there, and it comes with the split ring that I've already attached, a spare O-ring, and of course a little manual. Inside here we have a bit more of information, such as, well, the output. It is 27 lumens, as I said before, 2 hours 50 minutes of runtime. That's not a lot of time. That's one of the things that I would criticize about this flashlight. In spite of the things that it does well, which I like, it's kind of low. 2 hours 50 minutes. Distance 26 meters. Yeah, I think it's kind of optimistic. I'd say 10-15 meters most. Intensity, impact tested for 1 meter, 2 meters of water resistance. And it has a bit more information, such as the length is 64.5 millimeters and 14.4 millimeters across. That's basically a bit more than 2 inches, 2 inches and a half, give or take. 11.3 grams of weight, excluding battery. Digitally regulated circuitry so as to maintain a constant brightness. Capable of standing up securely on the flat surface to serve as a candle, which is one of the things that I do like. I like that kind of that option of standing on a tail like a candle. Makes it pretty functional, especially during blackouts and things like that. And guys, this is one of the reasons why I often review flashlights and such. It is one of those objects that you just end up using a lot. You are seeing right now, with all the blackouts and going on in USA, people can really put one of these to good use, right? We have a box of AAA batteries, and one of these you're gonna be seeing quite well in the dark. 27 lumens may not sound like a lot if you think of the 200 lumens flashlights that we have out there, and you know, here's a good example of that. You know, 200 lumens, extremely bright. Also has some more modes and such, but it's using more expensive battery, and maybe you don't need that. Maybe you just need a flashlight to get by during a blackout. Maybe you're only having what you have in your keychain. In this case, it would be even more compact, as I said before, than the famous EO1. So if you have this in your keychain, you have a good source of light for at least a couple of hours and 15 minutes. As we've come to expect from Fenix, the knurling is very well performed. The finish in the flashlight, and this little flashlight, is just wonderful. I just like Fenix products a lot because of the quality of finish. It's a type 3 anodized aluminum. Very good construction. The lens is peculiar, to say the least. It's like a solid piece, and as I said before, specifically made for flood. Right? It's not going to be giving lots of throw, but it's going to be flooding very nicely, and it has a very even hot spot. Let's just take a look and see how it compares and how it looks when used in across the room distances, which is basically the purpose of this flashlight. This isn't for outdoors use, even though you could use this flashlight for getting around in the outdoors, because 27 lumens is enough. If you compare this flashlight, for example, to one of the classics, the old school classics such as the Maglite Solitaire, it is incredible how poorly the mag light does. Let's turn the lights off for a minute. This is the mag light. Focus on its maximum potential, right? Let's do a little bit of looking around the room for a second. Camera is not even catching that. Look at that ring. Let's change modes there for a second. Even focusing, it's quite limited, right? You're able to see and such, but it's not great. Now let's bring up the EO5. See what I'm talking about? It is a world of a difference, and this is 27 lumens. As you can appreciate easily, it is enough to get by. It's maybe not the most powerful flashlight, but compact enough so as to have it with you at all times. As we increase the distance looking around the room a bit, you still have a good amount of light. It's not a problem seeing well. And again, it's a flawed flashlight, right? See how, right, we have a nice spill. Let's compare it for a second with a very well known, see if you can see that there, with the EO1. Let's compare it to the EO1, which is a staple on the Fenix line of flashlights, right? This would be the EO1. The EO1 uses niche LED, which has a bit more of purple coloration. I don't know if you get to see that as clearly, but the light it produces is just not as good as the EO5, right? EO1 on right now, EO5. That lens it does produce a nice spill, and as I was saying before, sometimes you don't need like 200 lumens for a tactical flashlight, right? In terms of blackouts, and I've been through a good amount of blackouts and spend long enough periods of time without light myself, and I've learned to appreciate a flashlight that uses, first of all, commonly available batteries. Second, it has a nice spill and has a nice flood instead of just lots of throw, which that's great for a tactical flashlight, but for a flashlight it's going to be used for blackouts, a general use flashlight, that's not exactly the best option. You want something that floods and illuminates as much as possible. In this flashlight right now, my eyes are already getting used to the darkness, and if I place this flat on a surface, alright, and I just leave it there pointing at the ceiling, as in most cases the ceiling in here is painted white and it reflects the light rather efficiently. Now that my eyes are used to it, I could just be here in this room with this flashlight pointing at the ceiling right now, and just go about my business and talk with someone else and just see okay, right? And I'm not burning 200 lumens or 100 lumens of worth of power in the process. So it is a great little flashlight for the money. This little flashlight costs $20, give or take, depending on where you're buying it, but $20 it's the average price for the Fenix EO5. For the Fenix EO1, the price is $15, but the advantage that it has, the EO1, in spite of not being as bright and not being as much of a quality in terms of light, it does run for 24 hours, which is, it is a great deal of hours of runtime. So you're losing a bit of quality, you're losing some power. It's 10 lumens instead of 27 lumens, but you get lots of runtime. With the EO5, you don't get that much runtime, but it's the 2 hours and 15 minutes you have are a great quality. Folks, hope you're enjoying these videos. Going to be doing more of them, of course. Take care, consider subscribing, and see you on our next video.